Hello, hello. How are you today? Today, I am talking all about the power of yes and the power of no, and understanding these two little simple words and how you use them in your life can either really replenish you and or really drain you and make you resentful. So I'm going to start with the power of yes. So I have a really great soul friend of mine, and he was an artist and he died a few years ago, and he created this painting. This was like back in New York, and he was like such a cool surreal artist, and always had such deep meaning. He was a total empath in his work, and he created this like beautiful, like, I mean, ginormous, like 6x8 type painting of like this castle, and it was all like these blues, and in the forefront of the painting there was like this orange feather, and the name of the painting was What If I Say Yes. And so I asked him about it, and I said, what's the story like of this painting? Tell me about it. And he was saying, and he was just like this bright, shiny soul that just totally enjoyed and loved his life. And he said, I come across so many people, especially here in New York, where you ask them something, and it's not even particular to New York, because I live in Seattle and I see the same thing here, where people, like, you ask them to like go do something and they say no, right? And he had made this painting for a friend of his who I am assuming would say no all of the time. Hi, Amy. And so he was saying that if you're constantly saying no to everything and every invite and all that, you're really limiting your life and your experiences. And what would life be like if you started to say yes? And so, at the time I was living in New York, I was single, I was, just kind of more in the rat race, even though I was still doing healing work. And at the opening, he had these cards of what if I say yes. And so I brought that home and I put it on my refrigerator, and I was like, okay, what if I start saying yes instead of being like, oh my God, just ask me out on a date and no, I don't want to go out there. I'm like, unless I was getting like super creepy hell no vibes in my body, why not say yes? Like, you never know where this could go. And so I started to just kind of noodle on like how many things I was actually saying no to, where I could be saying yes and expanding my life, expanding my social circles. And so that card traveled all over with me. I know I still have that card someplace in my house now, like in a box, but it was a really important message. So if you are one of these people in life that you're always saying no to things and experiences, what would your life be like if you started to say yes? Love the raising of awareness. I'm a manifesting generator and I'm ruled by the binary energy of yes. Oh my God, manifesting generator here. And we need to have a conversation about that, because I do want to learn more about human design. So, okay, so it's like the ADD brain happening, where I'm like, I'm going to read what's happening on the screen and then I'm going to forget what I'm talking about. So think about, are you a yes person or are you a no person, right? And so if you're constantly saying no, what would it be like if you start saying yes to, and you don't have to say yes to all the things, but start saying yes and see how your life starts to open up. On the flip side, you may be a yes person, right? And you need to learn how to say no. So when we're saying yes to everything, especially as empaths, especially as deep feelers, because there is such a high correlation between empaths, deep feelers, and codependency, that knee-jerk reaction of people pleasing, of over giving, of over functioning for everybody else, which, by the way, leaves them totally disempowered when you do that. You have to learn how to start saying no. And I talk about this in Soul Care Six Pack. Like, have you ever heard, like, the number one way to start setting boundaries is learning how to say no. And when we start saying no to others, hold on, I have a puppy who's asleep and stretching and just hit this little setup that I have going on. When we start to say no to other people, or, you know, obligations or whatever it is, we start saying yes to ourselves. And when that happens, this magic happens, and you start to have more time and space in your life for stuff that's going to fill yourself up. And here's the deal. As empaths and deep feelers, we are the ones that are like, who came to this planet to help heal. We are the healers of the planet. And so we want to give. We want to care for people. However, we want to give people the best of us and not what's left of us. And so if any of you who are watching who have taken Soul Care Six Pack and you want to drop a little nugget of how it was helpful for you, drop it below. Or if you're open, Amy, because I know you took the class, if you're open to hopping on video, you could give a little live testimonial if you're still on here, because I know there's like some delayed stuff going on. And so when you check in with yourself, Amy, what do you think of the class? Can I bring you on? I'm gonna bring you on. Ready? Here we go. Okay, I just sent you a request. But it is learning about checking in with yourself. If you're constantly saying no, open up to a yes. And if you are constantly saying yes, you could start saying no. And thank you for saying yes, Amy, this girl in a tree. And if you are not in her group, she is an amazing healer, and all of her work is based on the energy of the trees and how amazingly connected we are and similar we are to trees. So if you want to give a little shout out to the work that you do for this impromptu interview.
Hi.
Tell us what you do.
Yes. Yeah, I'm a transformational life coach, and my guidance is through reconnecting to nature, because so many of us are disconnected to that, and we don't realize how much energy that we receive from it and also can release to it. And it's like, it's a combination. And I know that I've been able to get through some really hard things by going to the trees, by going to nature and saying, you know what, this no longer serves me. And then releasing it, and it just like comes right back in like 10 times. Like, oh, okay, I'm good. I'm going to go back in. I'm going to go continue to fight. I'm going to go continue to lead and guide. And so,
well, and I think
that's what I do.
Also, what's really cool is that, like, people, and maybe a lot of people in this group understand this, but maybe not, that it's like when that Mother Earth alchemizes all of our shit, emotional shit, physical shit, all of the energy that we pack on during the day. Because people are like, well, I don't want to like hurt Mother Earth. I'm like, you're not. That's actually what she does, is that she
just think of our carbon dioxide as giving to them. You're giving carbon dioxide to them, and they're giving us back oxygen. Like, they need us and we need them.
I love it.
So,
I love it. So I love this impromptu, because Soul Care Six Pack starts on Thursday, and I'm doing something a little different this time, where I'm not doing the teachings. I'm giving the teachings all on video. And so the time spent in the group is all hypno healings and inner child stuff. And so we're doing things a little bit differently this time. But how has like tell me your experience and what were the benefits of it, and what did you get out of it?
I mean, I learned so much about the chakras, and that releasing of, I almost like it cleansed the whole chakra system for me. And I continually like look back at my notes and be like, oh, the sacral chakra. It's just like I'm learning about the human design too. And I'm like, oh, that's why I always get a gut feeling. And I'm like, oh, I remember in Nadia's class learning about that and releasing that in the hypnotherapy. And it's been a while since I've taken the class, but it's impacted my life exponentially. So that's why I think that everyone should take this class, because you might not realize in whatever awareness you're at this moment how much you need this class, because it will open you up in a way at a different level, a different dimension than you never thought you could receive. So I'm just saying, by taking the class, I know it opened up my soul, and I'm just thankful that I know you, and I thank you for offering this to us, Miss Healer.
Thanks, Amy. Well, and that's the whole point. It's just like, okay, yeah, you're learning how to like not overgive and not people please, and you're learning how to set boundaries, and you're understanding like codependency and like how that works in your family of origin and in your family. But at the end of the day, like, yeah, you're going to learn all that stuff, but at the end of the day, you're going to receive some deep soul healings. And what does that mean? It means like, it's like spiritual Drano is kind of like the funny term that I kind of, because it's like we have all of this like energetic and emotional shit that gloms onto us, and then it clogs, and psychological stuff and traumas and all the stuff, and then it clogs our energy field, that we can't become more aligned spiritually when we're not moving through our earthly stuff. And so this trance work and this hypno work is all about releasing that kind of shit that's stuck in the drain, so that your spiritual self could kind of flow through. And that's why I'm like, it's kind of like spiritual Drano.
Yeah. And I think, we hold on to a lot of fear, and, oh, I don't know if I can release this thing because it is comfortable in some ways. But I think once I was able with it, there was one hypno part we had hit. I think it was probably because it was my sacral chakra that we were working on. I'm like, I'm afraid of the yellow. I'm afraid of the power, and it's like, once I was able to release that, where you helped us all do in the class, I was like, oh, why was I afraid of that?
Right.
Why was I
and
afraid
a lot of people on an unconscious or conscious even level are afraid of stepping into that power. And like, what does that mean? It's like, it's ultimate self-responsibility. And, again, as healers of the planet, whether you believe in that or not right now, like, we are, and we've been here many lifetimes as healers that have gotten, sacrificed or whatever. So it is really, there is that like past life fear of like, if I step into my power, am I going to get annihilated? And like, PS, no, you're not, because there's so many of us on this planet now that were here, chose to be here so that we could create this healing space for more and more people. And in order to do that, we have to heal ourselves first, in whatever form it takes. It's like, that healer could be you, it could be an animal trainer, it could be like, but we are the healers of the planet, and this is about healing the healers. And so
absolutely.
So thank you for letting me pull you up here, and just you saying yes.
Yes.
It's totally impromptu too.
Absolutely.
But what's funny? I was actually thinking about this last week, and I was like, I wonder if some of my like old participants would want to come on and do something like this, and then it just kind of spontaneously happened. So if you are interested in joining, I will put the link again in here. And we start this Thursday at 3 p.m. Pacific, and all the calls are going to be recorded. So if you can't catch it live, which I hope you can, it will be recorded and sent out to you. And it's 6 weeks of amazing, beautiful healing, and like, spiritual Drano. Come on, people. Like, I would love to help you out with that. So
yeah, and it's environmentally safe for the world.
What'd you
Not
say?
like right now. And it's environmentally safe for the world.
Yeah. I know. I have to come up with a different term for that. Because it's kind of like, oh, this is like, what like the
Safest
universe.
cleaner ever. Completely biodegradable.
Like maybe it's more like a spiritual waterfall that like cleanses everything out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on. I love you, my friend. All right. Bye, everybody.